Hey everyone, and welcome to today's science lesson. Have you ever wondered what makes a forest or a desert a desert? It's not just the animals you see or the plants that grow there. Every environment, from the deepest ocean to your own backyard, is a complex mix of living and non-living things. Today, we're going to unravel this mystery by exploring two fundamental concepts in ecology: biotic and abiotic components. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of what these terms mean, how to tell them apart, and why they are so incredibly important for all life on Earth. So, whether you're a student cramming for an exam, a teacher looking for a clear way to explain this to your class, or just someone who's curious about the world around you, you've come to the right place. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about biotic components. The word biotic comes from the Greek word bios, which means life. So, quite simply, biotic factors are all the living or once living parts of an ecosystem. This includes everything from the tiniest bacteria and fungi to the largest trees and whales. Think about it. Plants, animals, fungi, protists, and bacteria are all biotic. They're all alive. But it doesn't stop there. Biotic factors also include things that were once alive, like fallen leaves on a forest floor, a decaying log, or even waste from animals. These materials are still part of the biotic world because they come from living organisms and play a crucial role in the ecosystem, often by providing nutrients back into the soil as they decompose. So, if it's alive or it used to be alive, you can safely call it a biotic component. Easy, right? To make this even clearer, let's categorize these biotic factors. We can usually group them into three main types based on how they get their energy. First, we have the producers. These are organisms that create their own food, usually through photosynthesis. Think of plants, algae, and some types of bacteria. They take energy from the sun and turn it into food, forming the base of almost every food chain. Without producers, there would be no energy for other living things. Next, we have the consumers. Consumers are organisms that can't make their own food, so they get their energy by eating other organisms. We can break this group down even further. Herbivores, like rabbits and deer, eat only plants. Carnivores, like lions and sharks, eat other animals. And omnivores, like bears and many humans, eat both plants and animals. Finally, we have the decomposers. This group is super important, but often overlooked. Decomposers, like fungi and bacteria, break down dead organic material, like dead plants, dead animals, and waste products. By doing this, they recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem, making them available for producers to use again. It's a perfect circle of life. So, producers, consumers, and decomposers are all essential biotic factors working together. Now let's switch gears and talk about the other half of the equation: abiotic components. If biotic means living, you might guess what abiotic means. The prefix a means not or without, so abiotic factors are the non-living chemical and physical parts of an ecosystem. These are the things that were never alive and never will be, but they are absolutely essential for life to exist. Without abiotic factors, the biotic components wouldn't be able to survive. These non-living elements create the environment in which living organisms live, grow, and reproduce. They set the stage for the drama of life. So, what are some examples? Think about the things you experience every day: sunlight, temperature, the air you breathe, and the water you drink. These are all classic examples of abiotic factors. They aren't alive, but can you imagine life without them? Absolutely not. Let's explore some key abiotic factors in more detail to understand their impact. First, sunlight. Sunlight is the primary source of energy for most ecosystems on Earth. Producers use sunlight for photosynthesis, which kicks off the food chain. The amount of sunlight an area receives can determine what kind of plants can grow there, which in turn determines what kind of animals can live there. Next is water. Water is essential for all living organisms. It's needed for countless chemical reactions inside cells, for transporting nutrients, and for regulating body temperature. The availability of water, whether it's a vast ocean, a river, a pond, or just rainfall, is a major factor that shapes an ecosystem. Then there's temperature. The temperature of an environment affects the metabolic rates of organisms. Some organisms are adapted to live in extreme cold, like polar bears, while others thrive in intense heat, like desert cacti. Temperature can influence everything from plant growth to animal behavior and migration patterns. Soil and air are also crucial abiotic factors. Soil provides nutrients, water, and an anchor for plants. Its composition, what it's made of, can determine which plants grow. Air provides essential gases like oxygen for respiration and carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Other abiotic factors include things like pH level, salinity in water, and even the topography or landscape of an area, like mountains and valleys. All of these non-living parts work together to create a unique environment. So we've defined biotic and abiotic factors. But the real magic happens when they interact. An ecosystem is not just a list of living things and non-living things. It's a dynamic system where these components constantly influence each other. Let's look at a simple example: a plant in a garden. The plant itself is a biotic factor, but its survival depends entirely on several abiotic factors. It needs sunlight for photosynthesis, water from the soil to transport nutrients, and carbon dioxide from the air. The temperature needs to be within a certain range for it to grow properly. The soil, another abiotic factor, must have the right nutrients. But the interaction goes both ways. The plant, a biotic factor, also affects the abiotic environment. Its roots can help hold the soil in place, preventing erosion. When its leaves fall and decompose, they add nutrients back into the soil, changing its composition. The plant also releases oxygen into the air, which is an abiotic factor that other organisms need to breathe. Let's take this to a larger scale. Imagine a dense forest. The trees, which are biotic, create a shady canopy. This shade reduces the amount of sunlight reaching the forest floor and lowers the temperature, which are abiotic factors. The shady, cool, and moist environment allows certain types of plants, like ferns and mosses, to thrive, while plants that need a lot of sun can't grow there. The animals, also biotic, depend on the plants for food and shelter. For example, squirrels eat nuts from the trees and build nests in their branches. The squirrels, in turn, might bury nuts and forget about them, which helps new trees to grow. Meanwhile, decomposers like fungi on the forest floor break down dead leaves and logs. This process releases nutrients into the soil, an abiotic factor, which the trees then absorb through their roots to grow taller. It's a complex, interconnected web. A change in one factor, whether biotic or abiotic, can send ripples throughout the entire ecosystem. For instance, if a prolonged drought occurs, an abiotic change, many plants might die. This would affect the herbivores that eat those plants, and then the carnivores that eat the herbivores. Let's try another example to really lock this in. Think about a coral reef. The coral itself is an animal, a biotic factor. It builds a massive structure that provides a home for thousands of other species, like fish, crabs, and algae, all biotic factors. But the coral can only survive within a very specific range of abiotic conditions. It needs clear, warm, salty water. The water clarity is crucial so that sunlight can reach the symbiotic algae living inside the coral, which provide the coral with most of its food. If the water temperature gets too high, an abiotic change, the coral gets stressed and expels the algae. This is known as coral bleaching, and if it lasts too long, the coral will die. The death of the coral, a biotic factor, leads to the collapse of the entire reef ecosystem as thousands of other species lose their home and food source. This shows just how delicate the balance between biotic and abiotic factors can be. To summarize, let's do a quick recap to make sure you can easily remember the difference. Biotic means living. The easy way to remember this is that bio is in words like biology, the study of life. So, biotic factors are all the living or once living parts of an ecosystem. Plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, and even their remains. Think of a food web, everything in it is a biotic component. Abiotic means non-living. The prefix a means not. So these are the non-living physical and chemical parts of the environment. Think of things like sunlight, water, air, temperature, and soil. These are the conditions that life has to adapt to. A simple memory trick is to ask yourself, was it ever alive? If the answer is yes, it's biotic. If the answer is no, it's abiotic. A rock is abiotic. A fossil, which is the mineralized remains of a once living thing, is a bit of a tricky one, but the fossil itself is essentially a rock abiotic, though it tells a story about past biotic life. Understanding the difference between biotic and abiotic factors is fundamental to ecology, biology, and environmental science. It helps us understand how our planet works, why certain species live where they do, and how ecosystems respond to change. For example, when we study climate change, we are looking at how changes in abiotic factors, like temperature and weather patterns, are impacting biotic communities around the world. When we talk about pollution, we are often discussing how abiotic factors, like chemicals in the water or air, can harm living organisms. This knowledge is not just for scientists. It's for all of us. It helps us make more informed decisions about how we interact with our environment and how we can better protect the delicate balance of life on Earth. So next time you go for a walk in a park or a hike in the mountains, take a moment to look around. Try to identify the biotic and abiotic factors you see. Notice the trees, the birds, the insects, the biotic parts. But also notice the sunlight filtering through the leaves, the feel of the wind, the texture of the soil under your feet, the abiotic parts. And think about how they are all connected, working together to create the beautiful, complex world we live in. Thank you so much for joining me for this lesson on biotic and abiotic components. I hope this explanation was clear and helpful for you. Understanding these core concepts is the first step to appreciating the incredible complexity and beauty of our planet's ecosystems. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more science content explained simply. And don't forget to share it with anyone else who might find it helpful. If you have any questions at all, or if there's a topic you'd like us to cover next, please drop a comment down below. We love hearing from you and are happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.